Hello everyone, Chef again. Welcome back to the YouTube channel for yet another amazing recipe. And today I'm sharing a rather interesting and a more delicious cake. For all of you guys who are tired of making a regular simple loaf cake and you want to try something different, something new, I'd like to share with you guys my Boston cream pie. It's like a layer of it's two sponge cakes and then sandwiched in between a Diplomat cream or like a pastry cream that has some whipped cream folded into it and then topped with chocolate. It looks super easy. It is a little bit difficult to make, but trust me, it's absolutely delicious. So let's get started.
So the first step in this recipe is to grease up our pans. Here I've bought two 8-inch round tins and I'm only greasing the bottom of these so that we have an easier time getting them out of the cake tin. So only grease the bottoms and set aside. Then you can start to work on our sponge cake batter. You can start by cracking in all of your eggs into a large mixing bowl along with some sugar and add it over a pot of simmering water. When you've like sort of mixed it a little bit, you can use the attachment for either your hand mixer or your stand mixer and just get it over the stove. Cook it on a medium-low heat for about 5 to 6 minutes, and stirring continuously so that the sugar begins to dissolve. You can check for this by sticking your fingers inside, and if when you rub the mixture in between your fingers and you don't feel any sugar granules, it's done. Take it off the heat and then you can now start to whip it up. You now whip this up on a really high speed until it becomes super light and fluffy. It will take a while and it will slowly change color from a really darkish color to really bright white color. And it should look something like this. It should also have reached something called the ribbon stage and should have doubled in volume so that your bowl that has the egg mixture should be really nice and full all the way to the brim. Now we can now sift over our dry ingredients. So here I have some all-purpose flour along with some baking powder. Sift it over and fold it in gently. I do suggest you use a whisk to fold in because when you use like a mwiko, it usually creates air pockets of flour, because you can see here like I'm sort of like shoveling the dough through and trying to open up those air pockets with the flour. So make sure you fold it in really well until the flour is incorporated, but making sure you don't over mix so that you don't lose all the lovely air we whipped in. So be really gentle. Add your batter evenly across the two tins and bake at 180 degrees for about 15 to 17 minutes. You want to bang them on the table first so that they get rid of any excess air bubbles. Once they come out of the oven, we're going to cool this with an interesting method. Remember, and I told you guys only to grease the bottom, is that you can cool the cakes upside down without them having to come out. When they're still nice and hot, you want to flip them out onto like a wire rack and allow them to cool upside down so that the cakes don't sink in on themselves and have like a really weird looking depression in the center, and then so you can just have really nice flat level cake layers to work with. Set those aside to continue fully cooling, and we can now start to make our pastry cream for our Diplomat cream. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to show you guys how to make it. So you want to mix together your eggs, your sugar, flour, cornstarch, and a little bit of some bougie vanilla or just regular vanilla, and you want to just whisk that for a couple of minutes until it becomes a little bit paler. Once it becomes a little bit paler, you want to set that aside. Into a large saucepan, you want to add in your milk. Add in your milk and then head on over to the stove. Over the stove on medium heat, you want to heat it up until the milk starts to steam. Once the milk starts steaming, you want to gently start adding it into your egg yolk mixture, into your egg cornstarch mixture. You want to add it a little bit at a time, because if you add all of it at once, the eggs are going to curdle and they're going to split. So neka tu kidogo just a little bit at a time until everything is fully incorporated. Add your mixture back into the pot, same pot. You want to head on over back to the stove and get in with a whisk. You want to stir this continuously over medium-low heat just until it starts to thicken. Don't stop stirring, because the moment this thing thickens, it just happens like that. In an instant, it will go from being really liquidy to really thick. So when it does go really thick, you can take it off the heat and keep stirring it so that you have a nice and smooth pastry cream. Add it onto a large plate or something white so that you can cool down faster, and cover with cling film directly on top so that it doesn't like form a skin and just pop in the fridge. Now, remember the cakes were cooling upside down. You want to now turn them over the right side, run a knife along the sides so that it can actually slip out of the sides, and then bang the cake out onto a wire rack. Set aside, and we can now make our chocolate topping. So we have some whipped cream along with some butter and some dark chocolate. You want to add it in and melt it in the microwave in about 20 to 30 second intervals until everything is looking really nice and smooth. Cover and let chill in the fridge until we're ready to use. Now, back to our Diplomat cream. So you want to add a little bit of cream into a small bowl, and you want to whip it until you have stiff peaks. And once you have stiff peaks, you want to add in that pastry cream you made earlier, like the egg yolk mixture, and give it a good mix. Set aside, and your Diplomat cream is done. You might be thinking at this point, these are too many components for one cake, but trust me, when it comes together, it's super delicious. Then you can start to stack. So start with the first layer of cake, and then you're gonna add in a layer of that Diplomat cream. This recipe makes a little bit extra in case you need it. Apply it over, do the next layer of cake over the top, and then chill it in the fridge for about 20 minutes before you can continue. Then you wanna add in that dark chocolate spread that we had made earlier and smooth it off as evenly as possible. And you can do like a nice spiral texture or top with anything you want to do, and you're done.
And thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys give this recipe a try, and if you do, make sure you tag me over on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'll have my social medias linked in the description box down below. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing content every single Monday. See you next week.